All right, guys. So today I want to continue what we've been talking about with standard, word, and expanded form and add a decimal. We've talked about this a little bit, but I just wanted today to be focused on adding decimals. So if I have this number, okay, we are going to say it just like we normally would, like we practice. There's my comma, so I'm going to say 76,543, and this would be called 200ths. This is my tenths place. There is nothing in the tenths place. This is my hundredths place. So this is 200ths. So if you were to write that out, I can write faster like this. You would say, again, 76,543 and 200ths. Not to be confused with hundreds. Okay, this 5 is in the hundreds place. If I have $500, that is way more than 500ths. That would mean essentially that you would have 5 cents. $500 and 5 cents are not the same thing, okay? So important things to remember with decimals. First, your decimal is set as and. You have this whole number here, and you have something less than a whole behind the decimal. That means it's not one whole thing. It's a part of it, just like money. This is your whole dollar. This is something less than that $1, if we think about it like that. All right, expanded notation, same thing. We have our 7 in the 10,000s. Let's see if we can fit all this on here. Our 6 is in the thousands. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. 1,000 times 6. We have a 5 in our hundreds. 4 in our tens. Y'all can still see. Three in our ones place. Okay, this is where it's a little new. We have nothing in the tenths place. So just like with our whole numbers, if we were to have a 0 up there, there's no need to write it out here. But we do have a 2, but we can't say 1, 2. We have this 2 is in the hundredths place. There's a decimal, there's the tenths, there's the hundredths. We have 100th times 2, and that's going to represent 200ths because we have 200ths. It's very important that we put our decimal correctly, because if we were to put this represents 1/10 because it's the first number after the decimal. So it's very important that we use our numbers to help us. And I'm going to erase word form and show you something that I like to do. So when I'm talking about the decimals, and let's just change this to 3, 6, 5. Okay, I have in my tenths place, I have a 3. In my hundredths place, tenths, hundredths, I have a 6. And in my tenths, hundredths, thousandths place, I have a 5. it's important that we represent them correctly, or else we're saying a different value than what it is. As we get farther back now, in 5th grade, we pretty much only talk about thousandths. We're getting smaller. Just like if we had $2.50 and $2.05. This is our tenths place. I have 5/10. We'll pretend it's 50 cents. Here I have no tenths. Here I have no hundredths. Here I have 5/100. So that's less than that amount, if we can think about it like money. And a lot of times it's helpful to think about decimals like money because we're familiar with that. So the placement of the decimals is very important because it's making a whole different value. Another thing that's helpful is, to write directly under this. So just like when I was trying to figure out 1/10 times 3, I could write right under this and say 0.1 times 6. See what I mean? There's my decimal. 1, 2. I was 1, 2, 3 after to make my thousandths. So that's what we were talking about today. It's what we've already been doing, but we are adding the decimals. We'll keep practicing this next week. Don't worry about it. If it seems kind of tricky right now, we're going to keep talking about this and you're going to become experts. So that's for today.